Now, whenever I mention Mick Hennessy to other people in the boxing business, and I include some of your former bitter rivals in this, there always seems to be a real respect there. Just for the fact that I think more than anything that you've been in the game so long, the longevity. And I wanted to ask you, you've had so many ups and downs. What would you point out as the key to survival in the boxing business?
That's a good question, actually. I mean, you've got to run this roller coaster, and it is. It's, the highs are highs, but the lows are extreme lows. You've got to love the game. You've got to have a passion for it. You've got to be steeped in it and immersed in it, and you've got to be resilient. You've got to be tough, mentally tough, because this sport can destroy you because it's one of them where you believe in people, you love certain people, you give them your all, you put it all on the line for them, you think they're like family, and then they go and stab you in the back, and that is a hard pill in life to swallow, because if you invest 10 years of your life into someone mentally, physically, and on a personal basis, and you feel like they become family, is to have them sort of betrayals is it scars you, and it's hard to overcome.
On that note, obviously in the past you've worked with the likes of Froch, who you took to his first world title, of course, Darren Barker, who went on to win a world title, Tyson Fury. Just the amount of world-class fighters that went on to big things or even achieve big things while still with you is pretty astounding. Which departure, if you like, hurt the most, and why?
They all hurt quite bad at the time. They all hurt quite bad, but I'd say Tyson Fury.
And why is that?
Something at this stage I probably wouldn't really want to go into, but it was hurtful to say the least.
On the more positive side, what have been the highs? What have been the highs in your career so far? Obviously still to come some, but what so far has made you the happiest in boxing?
Happiest? You know what, I've never been asked these sort of questions. It's good.
I'll take that as a compliment, yeah.
No, for sure. Things like obviously winning the world titles, they're the obvious ones, like Junior Witter becoming world champion. That was a big deal when no one thought he would. Someone like Carl Froch fulfilled his destiny in front of a brilliant crowd against Jean Pascal on terrestrial TV.
December 8th, 2008. Never forget
absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
ITV1, of course.
Yeah. And obviously, like the huge one, Tyson Fury beating
out in Dusseldorf.
Klitschko in Dusseldorf. I mean, that was the build up to that, and just making sure everything was right. And I'm not talking about just fight week. I'm talking about a year up to that fight. That was a very, very, very stressful situation, and to think that night, we basically climbed the Himalayas. We hit the top of the mountain peak, and we couldn't have done no more. We from a small, tight-knit boutique, firm. We actually went in and upset all the odds, and we done something that none of the major promoters worldwide or fighters could do worldwide. We put an end to that 11-year reign, and we done it in his backyard, and it was that was incredibly special, and it was something, myself, Peter, the team, we fought so hard for. We'd done so much fighting outside the ring. We was up against everything and everyone in the business, and that was such a major achievement. But Carl Froch was was nearly 10 years of trying to make people believe. You know, going through brick walls, not taking no for an answer. With sponsors, with broadcasters, with everyone. You know, that was a really hard ride as well. So, and then there's little things, not little things, but like, you know, sitting at ringside to watch one of the best fights I've ever seen live. I've been to all the big fights, but you know, on one of my shows, Dave Walker versus Spencer Fury.
Yeah.
You know, just the exhilaration sitting at that fight. It was incredible to be ringside for that fight. I mean, my emotions, my everything was all over the place. One of the best fights I've ever seen live. Tremendous, and you know, fair play to both of them, because that fight could have gone either way.
You've talked about how you survive in boxing for so long. What about the why? What keeps you going? Why are you still in the sport that's dealt you a lot of blows as well as the highs? And you could probably live comfortably outside of the sport. So why do you stay in it?
There has been times where I've thought about, you know, departing, but my son, having the passion that he's got and wanting this so bad, that was obviously going to keep me in. But also, even at this age now, it sounds ridiculous, but I'm still quite ambitious, you know. I've nowhere near achieved what I wanted to achieve. So I've still got that burning inside me, really. I want to do some special things in the sport. But
tell us about those. What are those special things? What's on the, I don't want to say bucket list because that's really morbid, but what's on the things, the boxes you want to tick?
Well, I've always been a fan of terrestrial TV, as you know. And
we thank you for that, I think.
So yeah, I mean, from working on the BBC to working on ITV to working on Channel 5. I mean, Channel 5 have never done boxing until I actually put presentation after presentation after meeting after meeting after. They've never done it, but I love the idea. If I could ever make it work, of building fighters on terrestrial TV, getting the right fighters, making them into household names, and then if I can flip them over to our own pay-per-view channel, that to me would be the ultimate in boxing, because unfortunately I build stars and then you've got an outfit of poachers waiting left, right and centre. Yeah. And realistically, the boxers shouldn't be listening to them. There should be loyalty there. But unfortunately, we're in the business where, as Mickey Duff said, if you want loyalty in boxing,
buy a dog, yeah.
And I thought that was out of bitterness when I first started in this game, but I've realised it's very
experience. Yeah. Well, we really appreciate the time, Mick. We hope the show goes brilliant on Saturday night. We'll certainly be watching.